This is not an army builder. Welcome to my review of the 75370 Stormtrooper Mech. It includes 138 pieces and costs $16 in the US. That's just too much money. And this set was sent to me for free by German Lego seller JB Spielwarten. So if you want a Stormtrooper Mech, check them out with the link in the description below. Opening the box, you'll find 3 numbered bags and your instruction manual. Now when it comes to the Stormtrooper minifigure, it continues to use that Family Guy Stormtrooper helmet, which can look very awkward at certain angles. It's a nice dual mold and they put a lot of detail into it, but man, I just don't think it looks the greatest. I think we've had better in the past. As far as the body and leg print, it does look pretty good, and this is the style that Lego brought in last year with Luke and Han with white hips, but this is the first non-disguised Lego Stormtrooper to have white hips in the modern era. I will say they did do this back in 2005 as well, and they even gave them hip printing, which I think was probably peak Stormtrooper, but this one still looks pretty decent and is at least in line with modern clone troopers, so they've got that going for it. Now, many people will look at this set for $16, and it is currently the cheapest way to get a Stormtrooper. However, that does not make this an army builder. It doesn't make this a battle pack. It is not a good, cheap, massable way to get Stormtroopers. I completely do not recommend buying more than one of this set if you're even going to buy one. It is not a good idea unless they are half price or better. Wait a few years for Lego to create another Stormtrooper battle pack, because it's a Stormtrooper. They will eventually make another Stormtrooper battle pack. Just a year ago on shelves, you could have gotten the Imperial Armored Marauder on sale for $32. There were 2 plain Stormtroopers in that set, so for your $16 each Stormtrooper there, you've already got the same value as this mech, and then you got all the other stuff that came in the Imperial Armored Marauder. So this set, especially through the lens of trying to get Stormtroopers, is cheap. It is absolutely not a good value, and I hope that example explains well enough why. Now, the mech for the Stormtrooper has a bit of a bulky look, especially in the arms and the thigh area. Not a huge fan of that, but hey, it's a buff Stormtrooper. Maybe it's been hit in the gym. I'm sure that was the idea, to make it look a little extra strong, so I don't hate it for that. I just, pointing it out. The feet have the same posable joints as the Boba Fett and Darth Vader mech. The same can be said for the leg joints and the arm joints, and then the hands, much like Boba Fett and Darth Vader, can't actually hold anything, but you could place something inside the studs there, which is conveniently what they did on the other side of the Stormtrooper with his blaster. But much like the Boba Fett blaster, it's the same design as far as I can tell. It looks like an old-timey camera, and I can't get that out of my head. There's no changing that, and now that I've said it, you can't get it out of your head. Maybe the biggest downside on this is the backside, where they left it completely blank. On Boba Fett, they included his jetpack, and on Darth Vader, they at least had part of a build. On this, they didn't attach anything to the back of the Stormtrooper. I don't know what they could have attached there, but, something, so it's not blank. Finally, though, like the other mechs, you can attach his weapon to a clip on the side there, and then we can pull down this front chest plate. You'll see the piece in there that's going to hold him in. No studs, so you do have to push this back up so that he doesn't fall out, and you'll see that printed Imperial logo 2x2 tile. I think that's a real nice tile, maybe something people will actually be interested in this set for, because it has more use outside of just the chest plate for this mech. But of course, the mech doesn't have any functions or features you wouldn't expect. You can pose it in some cool ways, put his arms out, use his blaster with the stud shooter at the front there, like so. Wait, that wasn't supposed to happen. Bam. But it's a reasonably cool looking mech for kids, and if you're looking at buying this as a playset for children, generally the feedback that I've seen is that kids like mechs, so you might hit the nail on the head as far as this as a gift for a little kid. But as far as adult collectors go, this is not the way to build your Stormtrooper army. My boy may be cheap, but he is still overpriced. I think this one's like a 7 out of 10. It doesn't do anything for me. Like the other mechs, at least, like Darth Vader had a cool lightsaber, Boba Fett's jetpack was cool. The Stormtrooper mech is like, it just gives people a false sense of like, oh, I can army build, when you really can't and shouldn't. Check out more LEGO Star Wars mech reviews on the end screen now, or else.